generations now, they're leaning more towards everything's more athlete-based. And I'm not saying that doesn't help, but I never needed to go to the gym. I worked every day. They're missing the one thing, the main ingredient to be a top-level bull rider, or one that stands out and people will remember, and that's being a cowboy and being tough about it. That's the one thing that I see this generation's kind of letting it slide by. They're okay with second, third place. I never was. When I went, yeah, I wanted my buddies and my traveling partners to do good, but I was there for one reason, and that was to beat all of them. It started out when I moved here, this was old dairy, so we had to do a bunch of tear out and then rebuilding things. Well, if I had to work on bulls, I didn't have a squeeze chute here. I had to take them and borrow stuff. If anyone knows me, I do not like borrowing equipment. Anytime we wanted to buck bulls or I needed to run some bulls through, I always had to take them somewhere and load them. So I had to get the pens built first. Hunter and Caleb, they were here and they said, whoa, where do you want to start? I said, start over here. Build pens, alleys, everything has to connect. I just wanted it set up to where I could handle any kind of bull and work bulls by myself if I wanted to.
What JB has set here is a compound for bull riders. And I think that's one of his visions for this because of how much he loves bull riding and he's invested his whole entire life into this. I think it's a way for him to give back and still be around it, right? I think a lot of athletes, professional athletes, not just in bull riding, but when they've done something for so long and then it just stops like that, it kills something inside of you. So this has just given us an opportunity to be around it all day, every day.
The older you get, your goals kind of change. A lot of guys retire because they lose that fire. Well, I never lost it. I think it all goes hand in hand. I wanted to be a cowboy more than I ever wanted to be a bull rider. My goal was to be a world champion bull rider, so I thought that being a cowboy helped towards that, working cattle, doing anything. I don't think guys that just show up here, one evening and get on bulls and then leave, they don't understand what goes into it, or, some of them do, some of them don't.
He's got a facility here that's better than anything you'll see out there. Every rider that's going to be here is set up to win. It's going to be hand-picked guys that come out here that really want to do this because, number one, it's too dangerous of a sport to just come in here and get on a couple bulls and say you want to be a bull rider. JB's going to have a school. It's going to be guys that really want to do this. I'm excited to see when he's like, man, I had a great career. I laid it out all on the line. I did everything that I wanted to do my way. Now, developing whoever comes into this ranch, this arena in Bucktown, I hope they grab a hold of a little pieces of that he's carried along his whole life. I think it matters, and I think it's important. I don't know, it's infectious. When you're around a guy that has that mindset, that mentality, you want to be, I wouldn't say I want to be just like JB, but he makes me want to be a better person when I'm around here. You become what you behold, and you show me your friends and I'll show you your future, and that's kind of been drilled into my head.
Now watching Jagger, and it's a whole different ballgame. I like the trial and error parenting. That's what I always say. When I was a kid, I figured it out. Him, like he'll say, Dad, I want to do this. I'm like, I don't think that's a good idea. Well, I want to. I said, well, all right. Everybody always asked me when I was younger, what bull riding school did I go to? I said, the one at trial and error. They said, what's that mean? I said, if it didn't work, I tried not to do it again. It's wide open and it's wild as hell all the time. Part of it has to do with how you're raised and the people you're around, but it has to be born into you. You can't teach somebody how to be mentally tough. If you tell yourself you can do it, you can do it. I've told a lot of people, I said, that's mental right there, wrapped up. If you tell yourself you can do it, you can do it. That's with anything in this world. A lot of people make it a lot more complicated than it has to be.